It was a morning of a May day, just like today. We were in the month of May. It was the night of May exactly. And I woke up that morning in excruciating pain. I couldn't put my finger to why that pain had become so much. And when I tell you I'm in excruciating pain, I mean I'm in excruciating pain because I'm a person that has high threshold for pain. And my sister peeps into my room and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not." She said, "You're not okay? Why didn't you call me?" I said, "I didn't want to disturb you and I couldn't get up because I was in a lot of pain." "Should I call mommy?" I said, "Yes." And so she reaches out to my mom and calls her. And my mom comes up and she's like, and I'm like, "I'm in a lot of pain." And she's going to call the doctor. She calls the doctor. The doctor says, "Don't move her. I'm on my way." Now, backtrack. I was pregnant. This was my 5th pregnancy. I had lost 4 pregnancies before that. And I was hoping that this was that moment where I became a mother. This was that moment where my prayers and my tears were, my prayers were answered and my tears were cleansed or cleaned up. And that the joy of holding that baby was just going to make all the pain go away. But alas, God had something different for me. And although at that moment I did not know that it was better, I promise you that it was. Because today I am thankful for that loss. Not because I wouldn't have loved to hold my baby, but because I know that God is wise. And his wisdom in taking back that pregnancy and that child was something that I came to see later on in life. You see, a lot of the time, our losses, our challenges do not make sense in that moment when we are going through it. Because why did I have to be in my 2nd trimester and still lose the pregnancy? And, the painful part was that I was already showing signs of, pregnancy. And so definitely people would ask. And then what was harder was that when people were asking and I wasn't, going to hold back and say, "Oh, I just suffered a loss." There are people who used to look at me like, "Why are you telling everybody that you suffered a loss? Why am I hiding the fact that, why should I be shamed because I suffered a loss?" And I think that it is at this moment I have to call us out on this thing we do, where we shame people for the pain that they are willing to share, for the courage to be vulnerable, where we shame people because they dare to be better than who we are. And I say better because to be vulnerable is to be strong. And to be strong is to show up authentically. And authenticity is so beautiful to behold. So if you are that person who is questioning why God took that marriage away from you, why he took that child away from you, why he took that contract away, why that happened and why this happened, I know that you might not be able to make sense of it right now, but I promise you, if you just give yourself time to lean into faith, if you give yourself time to just breathe, if you give yourself time to grieve, if you give yourself time to heal, and if you give yourself time to dream again, you will come to see the reasons, the wisdom, and the beauty of that challenge that you have passed through. Your pain is not for nothing. The most wise Al-Hakim has planned it for a reason. And he would give you and you will be pleased. Hold on to this promise and know that it is going to get better from here on. I'm your girl, Dr. Aisha, signing out. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If this message touches you, then share with someone who needs it. Take care. Bye.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.